Hello everybody, welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Shane.
And I'm Karen. Today we're looking at part 1 of a look at Normandy's history and sites. Well, Normandy.
So that's in the north of France, right?
That's right. And we all know that France is a really romantic and beautiful country, right?
Have you been there?
Well, actually I have, but I went there actually when I was very, very young. So my memory is not that clear. How about you?
I went there when I was about like 22, 23, and okay, you know how when you see Paris in the movies, it looks so romantic, and there's like the Eiffel Tower,
Those beautiful sunsets.
It's just like everything is like so romantic, and you think it's like, wow, it's like Disneyland.
That's
it's
right, or like
so
you have
amazing.
a love story in France or something, right?
But I was so surprised when I actually got off the train. There was like some military people there with like some like machine guns.
Machine guns?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I thought that's weird. And then when I was walking around the city, I was like, this is not what it looks like in the movies at all. It was actually quite dirty.
Okay.
Like compared to what I thought, you know? I mean, every big city, right, is not like it looks like in the movies.
That's right.
You start walking down some small alleys and you're going to see some stuff, you know, that's not exactly clean or what you think. And then when I was at the Eiffel Tower, some kid ran over to me, took my sunglasses, started laughing, and ran away. And I had to chase him to get them back. And
Did you get them back?
Yeah, I got them back, but I don't know if he was just kidding around or something, but it was not a really good experience.
So it's actually not that safe for tourists?
Well, let's learn about,
or maybe
Normandy is way different. Let's learn about Normandy.
Okay, let's learn about Normandy.
Located on the north coast of France opposite Britain, the region of Normandy is as rich in history as it is in beauty. It's best known as the site of a major battle, but it is also a fantastic tourist destination, attracting people from every part of the world. The area was conquered by the Roman general Julius Caesar in 56 BC, and Roman ruins can still be found there today. In the 8th and 9th centuries, Normandy's coast was attacked repeatedly by Vikings.
All right, so a look at Normandy's history and sites.
That's right, and we know that Normandy is actually in France, right? We were talking about that earlier.
It's like right across from England, right?
That's right, that's right. So is that the same as maybe like Paris or other parts in France? We really don't know, right?
Because I've never been there.
I've never been there either, but I heard a lot of stories about Normandy though.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of history there.
Definitely. Okay, let's start learning about this great place, Normandy. Located on the north coast of France, opposite Britain. The region of Normandy is as rich in history as it is in beauty. Okay, so we know, like you mentioned before, that it has a lot of history to it, and we know that there are a lot of stories in Normandy, right?
If you say something is rich in something, then it means it has a lot of that thing. So it's rich in history, it has a lot of history.
That's right,
but it's rich in beauty. It's very beautiful.
History and beauty, a combination of both, right?
Okay.
Okay.
It's best known as the site of a major battle, but it is also a fantastic tourist destination, attracting people from every part of the world.
Wow. Well, I actually know about the major battle part, but I didn't know that it's actually a great, fantastic tourist destination as well.
Yeah, I think it's very beautiful there. I mean, I think France in general is very beautiful, besides Paris. Paris is also very beautiful.
Yes, that's right.
But yeah, I wonder, like, I think if you're really into history, and like my dad, he's really into like the world wars.
Oh, my dad too.
So he loves studying that stuff. So I'm sure that would probably be one of the first places he'd want to go if he were to visit France. He's never been to France, but he would love that.
But I'm pretty sure that's a fantastic tourist attraction. And fantastic is our first vocabulary word, and that is an adjective. If you describe describe something as fantastic. You're talking about it like it's really wonderful. It's really great, right?
Amazing.
Exactly. It's one of those words you describe something to really, really, really great.
You know what? You're fantastic.
No, you're fantastic. Okay, in our example sentence, this restaurant's service is fantastic. So that means that the service is great. It's wonderful, and you definitely want to come back to this restaurant again.
Okay, let's continue the reading.
All right.
The area was conquered by the Roman general Julius Caesar in 56 BC, and Roman ruins can still be found there today. Wow, so you can see Roman ruins there.
Exactly.
Wow, I actually didn't know that. When I think of like Roman ruins, I don't know where I think. Maybe I'll think of things more like in Italy.
Oh, I see.
Like in Rome.
And then you're talking about Roman ruins, right? Actually, ruins just means that the remaining pieces from destruction, right?
Right, because to ruin something means to destroy it, right?
Exactly.
So as a noun, we just mean the stuff that's left over that's been ruined.
Exactly, like all the destruction and stuff. So, for example, after hiking through the jungle for days, Dr. Jones finally found the ancient ruins of the lost city.
Does that mean Indiana Jones from the movies? I think so.
I have no idea. Okay.
And so if we conquer, that's the other vocabulary word. To conquer is a verb. If you conquer a place, that means you take it over.
That's right.
Usually, or probably always, by some kind of military force.
So maybe there will be like some fight or war first, right?
Right. So it's not just like come in there like, hey, we'd like to live here too. No, it means we're going to take your land away from you.
You kind of attack them and you take control.
Right. For example, in the 1940s, a powerful army conquered large parts of Central Europe.
Ooh, okay. When something like that happens, you know, I think some people will be probably really sad because their homes will be taken away.
Can you imagine your land just being conquered and then what happens?
I don't know. I guess you either leave or you stay, right?
That's true.
Okay, let's continue. In the 8th and 9th centuries, Normandy's coast was attacked repeatedly by Vikings. When you say something is attacked repeatedly, that means again and again and again, right?
Wow, by Vikings. Vikings, I don't know, I just think of like really cool like movies and stuff because there's really cool hats, like horns or something.
Or sometimes
like
you watch
that.
cartoons with Vikings, right? But basically, Vikings are just people from Northern Europe. We call them Scandinavians, right?
Right.
So mainly from Sweden, Norway, or Denmark.
Right, that's right. Wow, so they have a really rich history, but it sounds like a lot of it has to do with like war.
Actually, yes, I know Normandy, this place from movies too, because of the wars.
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
See you after the break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课程是要介绍 Normandy 诺曼底的历史跟景点。诺曼底地区位于法国北海岸，有着丰富的历史和美景。那大家都知道，这个地区是一场重大战役的地点。但它也是一个非常棒的旅游目的地哦，吸引了来自世界各地的人们。课文就写到说，这个地区在西元前56年呢，被罗马将军凯撒征服，今天仍然可以在那边找到古罗马遗迹。来看单字 fantastic， 它是形容非常好的、极妙的。那么 conquer 它是动词，表示征服、占领或是克服，在后面加上 or 变成 conqueror， 就表示征服者、胜利者的意思。还有 ruin 在这边当名词，表示遗迹或是废墟，当这个意思来解释时常用复数型表达哦。那这时候 Karen 老师他就用到 remaining 这个形容词，就是 remain 后面加上 ing， 那 remaining 可以形容是剩余的、其余的。好，这边3个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是分词构句的用法。以对等连接词 and 去连接2个主词相同的子句时，我们可以省略 and， 还有省略其中一句的主词，然后你把被省略掉主词的那一句，它的动词改分词，动词是主动就用现在分词 VING， 被动就用过去分词 PP。举例来说 ，The castle was built in the 12th century。 And the castle is one of the most popular tourist attractions in the city. 好，前后子句我们看到主词都一样，都是 the castle， 那你就可以省略掉连接词 and， 还有呢，我们试着省略掉前半句的主词 the castle。动词部分看到是 was built， 它是被动，你只要保留过去分词 built， 那么句子就会变成 built in the 12th century. The castle is one of the most popular tourist attractions in the city. 这句话就说啊，建于12世纪，那座城堡是城市里最受欢迎的旅游景点之一了。好，下一个重点是 as as， 它表示像什么一样怎么样。我们常常用 as 形容词 as 或者是 as 副词 as 去表达说两事物它的状态啊性质相同。举例来说 ，mental health is as important as physical health。心理健康与生理健康一样重要。第三个重点是 be rich in something， 它可以表达有丰富的什么，富含什么什么的。那么 rich 当形容词，它除了形容有钱的，还可以形容是丰富的、富含的。举例来说 ，lemons are rich in vitamin C， 柠檬富含维生素 C。好，那么接着回到课文中。
The French king Charles III eventually gave up his land to the invaders, and the Viking immigrants soon adopted France's customs and language. These Vikings became known as Normans, and their land was called Normandy. 2 centuries later, the Duke of Normandy, William, invaded England and made himself king. He became known in history as William the Conqueror. The coast would continue to see battles over the centuries, but the most famous occurred on June 6, 1944, also known as D-Day. This was the day when US, British, and Canadian forces invaded Normandy to wrestle control of France back from Germany during World War II.
Welcome back, everyone.
So we're still talking about Normandy.
That's right, and we learned that a lot of major battles actually took place in Normandy, right, in history.
Yeah, sounds like historically, it doesn't sound like there was a lot of peace going on there.
Exactly, but however, we know that it's actually quite beautiful as well, right?
Well, because you can see some of the ruins because of after they were destroyed. They leave some ruins there, and those are kind of like cool if you like looking at those kinds of things.
Well, there's definitely a lot of fun or interesting history here. Let's learn more.
Okay.
Okay.
The French king Charles III eventually gave up his land to the invaders, and the Viking immigrants soon adopted France's customs and language.
Oh.
That's right. So the Vikings attacked, and basically they took over. They conquered it, right?
That's right.
So they started to adopt France's customs and languages. So if you adopt someone's customs, it means you take them for your own, right?
Exactly. And the first vocabulary word we have is immigrant, right?
Right. So if you immigrate to a country, that means that you go there to live permanently. So a person who does that, we call that an immigrant.
That's right.
So like in America, we have lots of immigrants. America is like a melting pot, right?
Actually, in Canada as well, there are many immigrants, and then they're still accepting many new immigrants every single year.
Yeah, I think the world is becoming more and more of a melting pot, right?
True, that's true.
Like even Taiwan, I think maybe in the past there weren't a lot of people who would immigrate here, but now I think you see all kinds of people.
Which is good, I think. I really like to be, multicultural. You get to learn about different people's culture.
So the example sentence we have is, Carlos was born in America, but his parents are immigrants.
So that means his parents immigrated from another country, right?
Right.
They were not born in America. Oh.
In fact, growing up, one of my best friends, his name was Carlos.
Okay.
And his parents also immigrated from Mexico.
Really? What a coincidence. Just like our example sentence.
Exactly the same.
Okay, let's continue. These Vikings became known as Normans, and their land was called Normandy. 2 centuries later, the Duke of Normandy, William, invaded England and made himself king. He became known in history as William the Conqueror.
That's who William the Conqueror is.
That's a lot of history right there, right?
So he was a duke. So a duke is just like
a man at a very high rank in the British nobility.
Okay. And then made himself king.
That's right. So I guess he really wanted to be king, so he conquered, right? And then he became the conqueror. Okay, so our next vocabulary word here is invade.
Oh, so we're speaking of conquering. So what's the difference between invade and conquer then?
Well, to invade, that is a verb. Right. Invade, that means you're trying to take control of one place. Also using military force, but you might not succeed. But if you have already conquered, that means you invaded.
Like if you win.
Yeah, exactly.
Win the
and
war
you win.
or
That's
battle.
Right. You have already taken control of that place. But just to invade, that means you want to take this, you want to attack. But you might not succeed.
Right.
Okay, so in our example sentence, it says, on October 28th, 1940, Italy invaded Greece. And we know a lot of sad things would definitely happen when one country invades another country, right?
Yeah, it's never good.
A lot of innocent lives will be lost, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'll continue reading. The coast would continue to see battles over the centuries, but the most famous occurred on June 6, 1944, also known as D-Day. This was the day when US, British, and Canadian forces invaded Normandy to wrestle control of France back from Germany during World War II.
Oh, and that is the famous one, right?
Yeah,
the famous battle in Normandy.
D-Day. And I just found out that the D-Day, the D just stands for day.
That's right.
Interesting.
It's kind of like the day they attack, right?
Right. Day. So it's day.
D-Day. But actually, that attack lasted more than just one day. Actually, lasted for several months, right?
Exactly.
Because France was taken by Germany during World War II, and they want to come and help and take France back.
Wow, they've seen a lot of wars, a lot of fighting there. But I think now there's plenty of peace there, so it sounds like a good place to go and travel now. You can learn a lot about history.
Exactly. So I think it's probably a really beautiful place, and then it's very educational. We should go there someday.
Yeah, I'd love to check it out. Maybe I'll go with my dad, since he's really into World War II and all the World Wars.
I think he would love it.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have for today, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
好，那在8、9世纪的时候，诺曼底海岸多次遭到维京人袭击，法国国王最后把他领土让给了入侵者。那么维京移民很快的就采用了法国的习俗和语言，这些维京人啊被称为诺曼人，那他们的土地则被称为诺曼底。好，那2个世纪后呢，诺曼底公爵威廉入侵了英格兰，自封为王，他在历史上就被称为 William the Conqueror， 征服者威廉。好，文中用到这个 Duke 来指公爵，那这时候 Karen 老师用到 nobility 这个字 Nobility 这个字表示贵族阶层。那我们再来看单字是 immigrant 表示移民，是外来的移民，移进来的。好，那么动词 immigrate字尾 ate 变成动词 emigrate， 它就表示移民、移入他国的意思，或是移居的意思。老师们这时候提到 multicultural， 就是在 cultural 文化的前面加上 multi， 那构成这个形容词就可以表达多元文化的，融合多种文化的。而我们在谈论这种文化大熔炉啊、民族大熔炉的时候，常常会用到 melting pot。melting pot 就是熔炉的意思。好，下一个单字 invade， 它表示侵略、武装入侵，这是动词，在后面加上 r 变成 invader， 那就是入侵者、侵略者。我们也来学一下它的名词是 invasion。invasion 在课文里面也会出现，表示入侵、侵略的意思。那课文写到说，在诺曼底海岸最著名的一场战事是发生在1944年6月6号，也称为 D-Day 诺曼底登陆日。那这天是2战期间美国、英国和加拿大军队入侵诺曼底，奋力的从德国手中夺回法国控制权的日子。好，这边一个重点，我们要进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是 when 当关系副词的用法。when 当关系副词的时候，相当于介系词加上 which， 它可以引导关系子句来修饰 或者是补充说明跟时间相关的先行词。我们以下要介绍2种用法。第一种用法就是当先行词它是非特定不明确的时间的话 when 引导的关系子句是要修饰先行词，这时候 when 的前面不加逗号，这属于限定用法。我们来看例句比较清楚。 Pam recalled the day when she first met her husband. Pam 回忆起初次见到她老公的那一天。那我们先行词 the day 它是不明确的时间，你不知道哪一天嘛，那后面紧接着关系子句去修饰它，表达说是初次见到老公的那一天。好，再看到第二个用法是当先行词呢是特定明确的时间，我们 when 引导的关系子句是要去补充说明先行词， when 的前面要加逗号，那这是属于非限定用法。例如Mr. Kent retired in 2005 when his son graduated from college. Mr. Kent 在2005年退休，那一年他儿子大学毕业。那我们先行词2005年是明确的年份咯，那就不用去限定范围，不用去特别修饰它，只要在后面加个逗号，然后用一个关系子句来说明这个年份做补充就可以了。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Located on the north coast of France opposite Britain, the region of Normandy is as rich in history as it is in beauty. It's best known as the site of a major battle, but it is also a fantastic tourist destination, attracting people from every part of the world. The area was conquered by the Roman general Julius Caesar in 56 BC, and Roman ruins can still be found there today. In the 8th and 9th centuries, Normandy's coast was attacked repeatedly by Vikings. The French king Charles III eventually gave up his land to the invaders, and the Viking immigrants soon adopted France's customs and language. These Vikings became known as Normans, and their land was called Normandy. 2 centuries later, the Duke of Normandy, William, invaded England and made himself king. He became known in history as William the Conqueror. The coast would continue to see battles over the centuries, but the most famous occurred on June 6, 1944, also known as D-Day. This was the day when US, British, and Canadian forces invaded Normandy to wrestle control of France back from Germany during World War II.
If you ask a local in Taichung where to go for breakfast in the city, many would recommend Rou Dan Tu Si. The shop is not even a 5-minute walk from the National Museum of Natural Science. The most popular items include its signature pork and egg sandwich, potato salad sandwich, Taiwanese pancake, and milk tea. Everything is freshly prepared. The barbecued meat in the pork and egg sandwich is marinated perfectly and complemented by the egg, mayonnaise, and pepper. These simple ingredients are combined to create a very satisfying sandwich. Remember to order a cup of iced milk tea to go with it. The drink goes well with the sandwich, as it is not too sweet and tastes similar to a smoothie. There might be a bit of a wait for breakfast, but it's worth it. We recommend waking up early and enjoying a hearty breakfast to give yourself an energy boost before you start your tour of the National Museum of Natural Science.
See you next time!